Senator?
And Hallie, here's Senator Dick Durbin.
You've heard the president's response. He says the Democrats are going to hold the blame if there is a shutdown.
I can tell you that we are working nonstop over the weekend and yesterday to find support, Republican support for our bipartisan agreement. We are going to be ready to go this week. We will be introducing the bill, bringing it to the floor so that members can see it in detail. We've described it in detail. We want them to read it in detail. And we're calling on Senator McConnell. As the leader, he can set the agenda in the Senate. Let's bring this matter to a vote before we reach deadline on Friday.
And the Republicans in your bipartisan group agree with that strategy?
Yes, and we are growing in number. Thanks to efforts by many Republican senators, Senator Graham, Senator Flake, Senator Gardner, and others are reaching out to their colleagues. I think they want to step forward and solve this problem. I do, and I think most Americans do.
Senator, the president has labeled you. He's called you names. Dicky Durbin. He says that you're to blame if these DACA negotiations fall apart. What's your response?
I can tell you the president challenged us at his cabinet meeting to come up with a bipartisan agreement to solve the problem and to hit 4 major elements in it. We did everything he asked and presented it to him on Thursday. It is the only bipartisan agreement that has been brought forward, and we spent 4 months putting it together. So we've met the president's criteria. Remember at one point when he said, whatever you send me, I'll sign? I'll take the political heat on this? Well, when we showed up Thursday with our bipartisan bill and presented it to him, it was a much different story.
And Senator, some of these Republican colleagues have impugned your credibility, essentially. They've said this wasn't what happened at this meeting.
Politics ain't beanbag. I understand that, but I will tell you this. I stand by every word I said about what was said and what happened at that meeting.
You intend to confront the DHS secretary since she was...
Well, come on down and see. I think let the press... we are going to talk about some serious issues with the Department of Homeland Security.
What's your bottom line? You don't think we're going to see a shutdown this week? Do you think that's
let me tell you, it is preventable. The Republican majority is in control of the House and the Senate. They have the White House. We are prepared to work with them, and we have put down a list of things that should be included, and they've had it for weeks. So from my point of view, they should move forward. Let's stop postponing this a week or 2 at a time. For goodness sakes, and it's an embarrassment to Congress that we can't reach an agreement. We spent 4 months to reach an agreement on immigration and on DACA. It wasn't easy. I had to give a lot. I didn't want to give, and so did the Republicans. But we did what the president challenged us to do, and now I hope Senator McConnell, as well as Speaker Ryan, will move forward in that spirit.
If Republicans don't go along with this, sir, should Chuck Schumer hold the line? Should Chuck Schumer hold the Democratic line?
I'm not going to speak for Chuck. He's been a great ally and friend. Which way?
Thanks very much, Senator Durbin. As you could see there, Hallie, a little bit of news from Senator Dick Durbin, who responded for the first time on camera to that insult from the president, and essentially saying that he stands by those remarks that he made. As you know, some Republicans have said that the meeting did not go as Dick Durbin said it had gone, that that word, it was not used. He, of course, said he stands by all of his remarks. Hallie.
Case, a lot of news out of that, right? Because Dick Durbin dodged when you asked him about the new nickname bestowed upon him by the President of the United States, Dicky Durbin. He declined to hammer the president on that. And when you asked him about a shutdown, I thought it was interesting that he did not definitively say we do not want to shut down the government, only that it is preventable, which of course it is if everybody comes together in a kumbaya moment. Right now, that doesn't seem likely.
At this point, I mean, that seemed to me to...